Greetings and welcome to the deep dive. If your world involves, anything cross-border, be it travel, business, or just keeping an eye on global policy shifts, you'll know that 2025 is already shaping up to be huge.
It really is.
And today we are doing a deep dive into something truly significant. It's China's massive, honestly, sweeping expansion of its visa-free travel policy.
And this isn't just some minor bureaucratic adjustment. I think this is probably the single biggest piece of global mobility news we'll see all year.
Wow.
It's dramatically altering how millions of people can access one of the world's largest economies. So if you need that quick shortcut to understand the real implications of this policy pivot, this is it.
Absolutely. We've gone through the sources, and the headline number itself is just staggering. We're talking about 43 countries being granted blanket visa-free access.
43. That's the key figure.
It's a policy that affects 4 continents.
Yep.
It's a huge signal of intent on the global stage.
It is. And crucially, this isn't some far-off plan. This is effective very, very soon. We're talking June 1, 2025.
So people are rewriting their travel and business strategies right now.
They have to be. This changes everything.
And what about the most immediate, the tangible benefit for you, the traveler?
It's the friction. It's the removal of friction.
Right.
That whole process, the expensive, always time-consuming dance of getting a consulate appointment, filing all that paperwork, it's just gone.
And that friction is what kills so many opportunities, right? Last-minute business deals, urgent family visits.
Exactly. That administrative hurdle isn't just an inconvenience, it's a real cost. It's time, it's money, and it's missed opportunities, all because of lead time. Removing it makes engagement with 43 different economies that much faster.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's get into the core mechanics of the policy. For someone holding a passport from one of these newly included countries, what are the hard parameters we need to know?
Well, the beauty of it is in the simplicity. The parameters are intentionally simple, really designed for maximum adoption.
So no complex rules.
Not really. It applies to anyone holding an ordinary passport.
An ordinary passport. So that's the vast majority of us, the standard one you get from the post office.
Precisely. It covers almost every traveler. There are no, special visa classifications or weird requirements you need to worry about on entry.
And what about the duration? The length of stay is where you can really start to see the policy's intent. This isn't just a quick 72-hour transit visa.
No, not at all. And it's not a 3-month sabbatical either. The policy allows a stay of up to 30 days on each entry.
30 days. That feels like a very specific number.
It is. That 30-day window is clearly optimized for a certain kind of traveler. It's, I would say, perfect for the majority of tourism. It's perfect for trade missions, for solving urgent business problems. It lets you basically just land and immediately get to work for a solid month.
I'm going to focus on that optimization point you just made. 30 days is, it's extremely generous for a casual visit or a standard business trip. But for our audience, people may be dealing with long-term investments, complex negotiations. Does that 30-day cap still present a kind of latent challenge?
That's a really thoughtful point.
You avoid the visa hassle up front, but you might be under pressure to wrap up some pretty significant business very quickly.
And that's where the analysis has to go a bit deeper than the press release.
Yeah.
You're right. While the administrative burden is gone, that 30-day limit, it forces precision.
Right.
It's a policy built for, let's say, quick exchange and engagement, not necessarily for long-term residency scouting or, massive infrastructure projects that need months of uninterrupted presence on the ground. It optimizes for volume and speed over duration.
That distinction is key. Speed over duration. So you've essentially traded a logistical nightmare for a hard deadline.
Which is a much better trade-off for global business most of the time.
I'd say so.
Absolutely. The ease of entry means quick response travel is now on the table. Think about a manufacturing hiccup, a last-minute contract signing, a major trade show.
Things that used to be impossible on short notice.
Administratively impossible, yes. Now you can just book the flight and go.
Which brings us to our next section, because this policy is, as we're discovering, much broader than just a simple tourism push. I think a lot of people hear visa waivers and they immediately think vacations.
And that assumption really undersells the strategic intent here. If this were purely about tourism, they wouldn't have bothered listing 4 other distinct purposes right there in the policy document.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because the waiver applies to almost every non-resident activity you could imagine, short of, say, full-time employment or long-term study.
Exactly. The eligible purposes that our sources list show a huge amount of flexibility. We are talking about visa-free entry, not just for tourism,
Okay, that's the obvious one.
but also explicitly for business purposes, for visiting friends and family, for various forms of exchange, and even for standard transit.
Let's analyze those last two because they're fascinating. We all get tourism, business, family visits. But what is the practical difference the government is signaling by including exchange as its own separate eligible purpose? What does that even mean?
That is the crucial question.
Does it cover things like, I don't know, academic lectures, small conferences, cultural performance tours?
It implies a clear focus on soft power, on intellectual connectivity. Exchange typically goes beyond the transactional nature of business or the leisure of tourism.
So it's about ideas.
It is. It signals a welcome for short-term academic collaboration, for high-level policy dialogue, or cultural interactions where money isn't the primary goal. It's about bringing people together to share knowledge and ideas, all for up to 30 days.
That opens up massive practical applications,
Uh-huh.
especially for really specialized fields.
Sure.
I mean, imagine a university professor or a tech consultant who needs to go and conduct a 2-week masterclass. Before, they might have spent 2 months fighting for a visa just for a 14-day trip.
And now they're instantly mobile.
Instantly.
And that's the pro tip we really distilled from the source material. This policy maximizes practical flexibility. You could fly in, attend a business summit for 5 days, spend a week visiting a client's factory, and then finish the trip with 18 days of cultural exchange or visiting relatives.
All under one simplified umbrella. No need to change your visa status or anything like that.
It connects professional goals, cultural learning, and personal life seamlessly. It's a recognition that modern global travel is often multifaceted. It's not just one thing.
It's an admission, really, that bureaucracy was slowing down valuable interactions across the board. Not just for vacationers.
That's the bottom line.
Okay, now we have to get to the part that really defines the policy's ambition. The roster.
Yeah.
The list of countries. 43 is a huge number, and it's not random. It's strategically distributed.
Very strategically.
We need to analyze the specific geographic blocks that are included here: Europe, Asia-Pacific, and South America.
And Europe just dominates the list. It accounts for 31 of the 43 countries.
31. Wow.
This isn't just an accommodation for a few major trade partners. This is a sweeping inclusion of nearly the entire European Union bloc, plus other key financial centers like Switzerland. It signals a really concerted effort to deepen integration with the entire continent.
And when you look at the list, I mean, you see France, Germany, Italy, Spain, the Netherlands. Those are the obvious economic powerhouses,
Yeah.
the usual suspects.
Of course, but the real story here is the comprehensive nature of it. It goes so far beyond that core group.
That's what I was going to say.
It's designed to leave very few gaps. It includes Ireland, all the Nordic nations, Norway, Finland, Denmark, Iceland, and then it expands deep into Central and Eastern Europe. Hungary, Austria, Poland, Portugal, Greece are all covered.
And crucially, it also extends into the Balkan and other peripheral states. We're
Yeah.
talking Bulgaria, Romania, Croatia, Montenegro, even microstates like Monaco and Liechtenstein.
Yes.
Strategically, what does the inclusion of such a diverse range of European political entities signal to you?
It signals a desire for broad economic and diplomatic reach. It seems to be bypassing the political complexities you often get when dealing with the EU as a single entity.
So go direct to the member states.
Exactly. By granting waivers to almost every major country individually, they're simplifying access for nearly 500 million Europeans. It's an almost unilateral removal of barriers to trade and investment coming from the continent. They are making themselves the easy travel destination for that entire European economic engine.
That's a powerful statement. Okay, let's move across to the Asia-Pacific region. There are 6 countries included here.
6 key ones.
Right. These look like regional power players and crucial trading partners. We have Brunei, Malaysia, Korea, Japan, New Zealand, and Australia.
Here, the focus is clearly on strategic partnerships and, I think, regional trust building.
Right.
You have South Korea and Japan, 2 of the world's most dynamic economies and key regional neighbors.
Right.
Easing their access facilitates immediate high-level business ties, and then the inclusion of Oceania, Australia, and New Zealand shows a really strong commitment to partners across the Pacific sphere.
And this brings us to what I find maybe the most strategically ambitious part of this whole policy, the inclusion of South America.
It's a big move.
It is. I mean, this is a region that's geographically distant. Visa requirements can often be complex, and yet 5 specific nations made the cut, effective June 1, 2025.
And what's fascinating here is that this isn't about proximity. It can't be. It's about aligning with future economic hubs. The 5 nations are Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, and Uruguay.
That group seems incredibly telling.
It is. It's highly calculated.
Okay, so break it down for us. Why these 5 nations specifically?
Well, look at the list. You have Brazil, a leading member of BRICS and the largest economy in the region. That's an obvious major target for investment and resource partnership.
A no-brainer.
Then you have Chile and Peru. Both are key members of the Pacific Alliance, which shows a clear intent to engage with that critical trade bloc that's focused on access to the Pacific Rim.
Right, connecting the continents.
And then you have Argentina and Uruguay, both massive agricultural producers and important nodes in Latin American trade. This isn't random at all. It's targeting the most economically dynamic and strategically aligned nations in South America.
So, to put it simply,
Yeah.
if the Europe list was about broad market penetration,
Yes.
the South America list is about targeting specific economic levers. You've got BRICS alignment and Pacific Alliance trade corridors. That's a huge insight.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, the overall policy isn't just we want more tourists. It's an aggressive, geographically segmented strategy to maximize economic velocity.
By removing the biggest barrier.
By removing the single largest barrier to short-term entry, the visa process itself was acting as a drag on global connectivity.
So this is the ultimate statement that speed and the volume of short-term movement are now the priority.
Indeed, it sends a very strong, cohesive signal about where they see their short-term economic and cultural future lying.
And that future requires partners who can move fast.
Exactly.
Okay, so to recap for everyone listening, the essential knowledge nuggets you really need to file away from this deep dive. First,
Yeah.
it is a 30-day maximum stay per visit.
30 days. Just book and go.
Second, it covers 43 specific countries. These are spread across Europe, the Asia-Pacific, and South America.
A very deliberate list.
And finally, it opens up travel not just for leisure, but for critical purposes like business, family visits, and that all-important intellectual exchange. And this all goes live on June 1st, 2025.
And this brings us to a final, I think, important question for you to consider, something that goes beyond just the convenience of your next business trip.
Okay.
If the policy is explicitly designed to facilitate exchange, cultural, academic policy, and the list of 43 nations spans almost the entire European continent, key Asian neighbors, and targeted South American economies. What does this massive simplification of global movement suggest about the shift in priorities? Away from pure state-to-state relations and toward direct people-to-people connectivity.
That's a fascinating thought.
Just think about the leverage they gain by making it administratively easier for foreign ideas and investment to enter their country, even if it is only for 30 days at a time.